Good, happy Saturday evening. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. Restoration efforts near complete, less than 2,000 now without power. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9.
Yes, Gene, the end is in sight. It has been a busy week for Eversource, restoring power to more than 312,000 customers and replacing more than 400 utility poles. They've been working around the clock, and the job is finally almost done. Utility crews are still repairing the widespread destruction from Sunday's storm, in part because of new damage.
Also, the trees are weakened because of that initial impact that we saw on Sunday, so we have sustained additional damage to the system with trees and branches falling onto the lines.
The state estimates damage across New Hampshire is more than $8 million, which meets the threshold to ask for a federal disaster declaration from the president. Governor Sununu expects FEMA teams here next week. While power crews finish up, criminals appear to be trying to take advantage of people posing as utility workers.
They'll take advantage of anything, really, today. I just can't understand it.
Brentwood police are trying to figure out if a break-in on Bartlett Road is connected to reports of two suspicious men.
We did receive numerous phone calls from residents in the area that there was a blue pickup truck coming, and men were going door to door, and they were asking if they had power yet.
In Epping, Eversource says a scammer knocked on someone's door, offering to restore power for money.
We would never ask for payment for restoration, so if someone asks you for payment to restore your power, that's not us.
Generally, Eversource does not knock on doors. You can always give them a call to confirm if it is in fact one of their workers. Reporting live in Manchester, Mike Cronin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that report. And also, to touch note, utility crews have been working around the clock since the storm knocked out power to much of New Hampshire Sunday night. VA Secretary tours Bedford Hospital, promises changes aimed death investigation. Let's take a look at the report from WCVB. The head of the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs visited the VA hospital in Bedford, Massachusetts Saturday and promised more changes are coming to improve patient care. The visit by the Secretary, David, comes less than 3 weeks after the Boston Globe reported a patient at the Bedford facility was suspected to have died of neglection. In June of 2016, Bill Nutter, a veteran of the Vietnam War, died of a heart attack at Bedford. Officials said a nurse's aide who was supposed to be watching Nutter was playing video games. David said the nurse's aide has since retired and administrators have begun the process to demote the hospital's former director. The agency's inspector general has begun an investigation into Nutter's death. VA officials admitted there have also been turnover problems at the Bedford facility, with 3 directors in the last 16 months. Those same rankings also showed that over the past years, patient care has improved at nearly 2/3 of the VA hospitals across the country. Currently, those rankings compare VA hospitals only to each other. But David said for future, the VA also plans to compare them to private hospitals in some area. By phone, Nutter's daughter told WCVB she is pleased that the VA officials and local politicians seem to be taking the case seriously. However, she added she is still waiting for justice for her father's death. CMPC, 10,000 customers will likely be without power after deadline. Let's take a listen to the video from WMTW News 8 in Maine.
Now, crews from Central Maine Power probably not all that well rested. They've been working around the clock to restore power to thousands of Mainers who are still in the dark from Monday's storm.
This has been going on for days now. Thousands of linemen from 14 states to Canadian provinces joining this effort. News 8's Erin Dixon is live in Portland this morning. She's been talking with CMP officials about their recovery. Good morning, Erin.
Good morning, Joe and Kathleen. Joe, as you said, these crews may not be well rested, but I have to say the many that we have seen pull out this morning have been very friendly, waving. They must know that they're nearing the end. They're nearing the end. Can you talk a little bit, Gail, about what morale's like at this point for the crews?
People's spirits are still very high. They're smiling. Everybody's still getting along with one another. And, we've got a great team here, not just within our own company, but with all the mutual aid crews and all the people in the offices, working behind the scenes and working in support roles. The spirits are still up. We all want this to be over as soon as we can finish it up. And, so we're keeping our spirits up.
And in terms of those people who are still without power, what do you have to say to them at this point?
And we know that, all the progress we've made, we know that if you're still without power, we know they want their power back. We know they want to know when it's coming back. And we want them to know that we are going to be out here, even beyond the end of today, we're going to be out here every day until we get everybody back up. And at this point, in many cases, we're literally putting one customer on at a time. That's the point we are at. And it's slow going, it's labor intensive, but we're still committed to working 24/7 until the last customer is back up.
And, we have spent our morning here, and we really just want to thank the crews. Do you think that you've got that response from people out, that they are thankful for all the work that's been done?
They are. There are a couple things. People have expressed their gratitude, but what's really touching is when people express concern for the crew's safety. I mean, from the minute it started until, right now, people are still saying, stay safe, don't rush and forget about safety. And that's really touching that everybody is concerned for our crew's safety. It is a difficult job. There are a lot of risks involved, and we're glad to see that our customers share the same commitment for safety that we do.
Of course, and this storm, what a week it has been for both crews and those without power. Of course, we're all happy to see this progress made, and still some more work to be done, as we said, guys, but how far we've come in this week.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Good to see those spirits still smiling, and everyone should stay safe when they are working on the power lines. A look at who's off to Asia with Trump, who's staying behind. Let's take a look.
I'm super wealthy. Not in the lame have a lot of money sense. No, my wealth comes in the form of beneficial bacteria. You see, I drink delicious Lifeway kefir, which along with protein, calcium, and vitamin D, contains billions of probiotic bacteria in every cup. Unlike some people, I don't ostentatiously show off my billions of bacteria. I prefer to keep mine in my gut. Lifeway, be a probiotic billionaire.
President Trump is waking up in Hawaii this morning. We've got some pictures from the president's Instagram account as he greets the locals wearing a leg.
In a few hours, he'll be leaving Hawaii for a 13-day trip to Asia. He starts in Japan, then it's South Korea, China, Vietnam, and the Philippines, all amid serious concerns about the threat of a nuclear North Korea.
But domestic concerns will not evaporate just because the president is away. In fact, before leaving for this trip, the president slammed the Justice Department for not investigating Hillary Clinton and the Democrats.
Critics say the president is trying to distract from the Russia investigation, including new questions about this meeting with a foreign policy advisor named George Papadopoulos, who's now cooperating with federal investigators.
We have team coverage this morning, and we're going to start in Tokyo, where ABC's senior White House correspondent Cecilia Vega is standing by. Cecilia, good morning to you.
Hey guys, good morning to you. This is going to be a jam-packed trip for President Trump. It's his longest trip abroad since taking office. North Korea, of course, front and center, not to mention, as you say, all those controversies back at home.
Okay, and there you go on that video and some of that report. If you want to watch the full report, we'll share that full report with you on the Riley King Network Facebook page. President Donald Trump is off to Asia, where he'll visit Japan, South Korea, China, Vietnam, and the Philippines. A look at some of those who will accompany him on the 12-day trip, the longest by any U.S. president to Asia since George H.W. Bush in late 1991 and early 1992. Who's going with him? First on that. First Lady Melania Trump. National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson. White House Chief of Staff John Kelly. White House Senior Aide Jared Kushner. White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders, and White House Senior Advisor Stephen Miller. And who's not going? Vice President Mike Pence, Defense Secretary James Mattis, Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin, and Gary Cohen, Director of National Economic Council. Those are the people that are not going, and you have the list of people that are going. And that is it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Saturday evening, and I'll see you back here later on for a news report. And I'll see you back here tomorrow for another edition of the Newscast. Good night, everyone. Bye.